name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. We are here. We are playing Return of the Giants, the premiere 5th edition homebrew adventure. We are excited to be jumping straight back in. We have a couple of late players tonight. I know that Dave and Sai are running a teensy bit late. They will both be joining us tonight. Jared, we're not 100% sure. I thought potentially he was joining us tonight, but I haven't heard from him. So hopefully he's all okay. He did like the announcement that we were going to be going online at 7, so I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully we will see him tonight. Now, apologies in advance. I know this ring light is doing me a lot of favors, but I'm a little bit sick at the moment. With the old Rona, it's not been too bad this time. The main problems I've had is the persistent headache and the swinging temperature, where you go from like shivering to just drenched in sweat. Right now I'm at the drenched in sweat phase. I'm very, very warm, trying to like space myself out a bit. If I am a bit slow with some things tonight, if I'm not on my game, I apologize in advance. The only thing keeping me going right now is ibuprofen and paracetamol. So I will do my very best to be at the top of my game. But if I'm a bit slow on the things, apologies for that. It's because I'm not 100% well. So I think that was the only announcement I had to share. No, there's one more announcement I have to share. So this Saturday at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I will be guesting on Josh the Pirate's the Corsair's Cove Speak Like a Pirate Day charity livestream event. It's a 24 D&D charity livestream event. It's actually starting the Friday night, so that'll be Friday morning for our international viewers for UK and US, and it'll be running all the way through until Saturday afternoon Australian time. I'm in the Saturday morning game. So it will be a Castles and Crusaders game, which I've never played before, which is like a variation of... I'd almost describe it as like a fairly rules-light adaptation of like 3E, that you can bring in stuff from any other edition in with it. So it's going to be interesting. I've made my character. We sort of had a bit of a group agreement that we were going to do it after Indiana Jones. That was kind of going to be our vibe. So I'm going to be... creating a dwarf based on Sala, which is John Rhys Davies' character in the Indiana Jones series. It had to be a dwarf because John Rhys Davies also famously plays Gimli in The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I know, right? He's got a wonderful voice. I'm going to do my best to copy it. So that'll be fun. I haven't yet picked my class. The way classes work is very, very different to D&D. So I'm going to try and wait a little bit and see what the others go, and I'll try and fill any party gaps, which is normally how I play D&D whenever I'm a player. So yeah, that'll be really fun. That'll be over at twitch.tv/Corsairs Cove. There will be a link below. And the cool thing is, when this video comes out on Friday, I think the timing wise, it will actually just be starting the very first of those live stream events. So definitely go and check that out if you want to watch some really, really cool live stream events, all vaguely pirate themed, which should be really, really sick. And that's my fun announcements. Any other fun announcements to share before we jump in, and I'll do a very thorough recap to get Christian back up to speed from last session.
I'm fine. I'm just playing with my dog real quick.
That's lovely. Is Poppy giving you a bit of a runaround?
Yes.
Simon, welcome. Perfect timing. I was just about to do the recap. Oh, Matt, your shelves are full of goodies. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Wow, we're good.
He's a baba.
It's so funny. Poppy is looking more and more like my little cavoodle, but just like double plus size. Like the coloring and everything. Like, because yeah, she's kind of faded a bit. She's much more of the white curly fur.
Yeah.
When before she had much more of that apricot. It was the same story with Lumi. She had the apricot and now it's all faded.
Yeah, and you probably not in the camera, but she still definitely has like the apricot like, down her back.
Yeah. So Lumi still has an apricot stripe down her back as well. That's really funny. I reckon they get along really well. Lumi quite likes dogs that look like her. It's a weird thing that she has. She's very like...
That would be good.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
Perfect. Well, I think let's do our recap and jump into the session. Unless, Simon, you had anything fun to announce? No.
Nothing pop culture or D&D related, no.
Fair enough. Alrighty, let me do our recap. Excuse me, and let's jump into the session. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, has formed a brand new team. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew are exploring the vast caverns of the Underdark. Drawn below by rumours of stone giants taking over territory, it has come to light that the Duergar are providing the stone giants with slaves as part of a massive mining operation. After assisting the deep gnomes of Blindenstone in reclaiming their fortress home from a draconic Behir, the group are now set to head deeper into the caverns, territory known to be occupied by Duergar and stone giants. Taking a bit of a break, Niles and Bart used the long rest, the moment of quiet, to share the dark secret they had been carrying, that the Eris theocracy had been born from a conquering force of Owlin and Aarakocra, who had first taken control of the elemental plane of air. With the beginnings of a plan to replace the leader of Eris as a way of preventing future bloodshed now under discussion, sleep came slowly to the party. But when it did come, the group found themselves once again immersed in a giant dream, this time travelling deep below the earth in the company of stone giants. Taking the opportunity to question their guides, the team learned this dream seemed to be taking place before their more recent experiences, their giant echoes appearing to be travelling to the stone giant city of Ton Tenur, the Stone Teeth, to present the details of a treaty to Elder Hunmar. Bart took a moment of distraction to share with Harry his suspicions regarding Figment, that Figment was in fact a fragment of the giant god Anam. Arriving in the centre of the city, the team stepped out onto an enormous stone circle, marked with runes traced around the circumference, standing before an enormous sphere. Emerging from the sphere, Elder Hunmar approached the party, revealing the giant echo Harry was inhabiting was in fact his son. The discussion around the signing of the treaty was initially rather tense, Elder Hunmar resistant the idea of working with the surface world. But the team was slowly able to change his mind, Bart pushing for Hunmar to connect with Harry's Heartstone to experience the truth of the surface. This did not go how the team thought, however, Hunmar's shape twisting and warping into a form of metal and shadow. Grabbing Harry by the hand, the figure examined Harry's Heartstone and called out, "I found you." Realizing this entity might not be friendly, the team leapt to Harry's defense, allowing him to escape back while the rest of the party took on the shadowy figure. Revealing itself as Animus, another giant construct similar to Figment, the entity attempted to overwrite the Stone Guardian to fight the party. Harry responded by instead channeling his magic into the Guardian, allowing Figment to instead take control and turn the tide of the battle. Despite dealing some hefty damage, Animus was soon overwhelmed, allowing Figment to draw upon its core and take some of its powers in controlling these giant dreams. With Figment now able to manipulate the dream, the party rewound to before Animus had appeared. Able to fully convince Elder Hunmar to sign the treaty and form the Ulthing, the party suddenly found time accelerating around them, showing the stone giant city growing in prosperity initially, but then falling into disrepair and breaking apart, before a sudden light and low note marked the disappearance of the stone giants and the end of the dream. After discussing their experiences in the dream and the ramifications it could have on their immediate plans, as well as the situation developing above ground, the team decided to depart. Tracking the edge of the Dark Lake to a deep fissure leading to the forge halls, the team cautiously made their way through the darkness. Ember and Niles spent some time scouting ahead, Niles with his wings and Ember using his drow cloak to allow him to climb across the stone much like a spider. Partway down the narrow paths, Niles spotted a small fire being extinguished down a side cavern. Making his way back to the group to report this, soon Harry noticed the sound of snuffling coming from below. Right as Ember asked if Niles had been followed, a large clawed hand grabbed the edge of the stone wall that Lyra had been making, revealing a large, white-furred, bear-like form. As the creature called out, "Bearskins!" Harry let fly with an arrow, the head burying itself deep in the flank of the creature. We left off last session as the creature bared its fangs, exclaiming, "Ha! Why bites bearskins? Why bites my stings?" So, what we're going to do, obviously because we had Christian away last session, what we'll do is we'll basically jump in right as Harry lets fly with the arrow. And I am also going to bring us all into initiative, mostly because I want to be able to keep track of what we're doing. And secondly, because it might delay us even slightly further, just in case Dave joins us in time, because I obviously don't want to be making decisions for Harry if I can avoid it. So, can I get you all to please roll initiative? I will roll for Harry and for Threign in the meantime as well. Get those loaded up. So just make sure you click on your token and then click on...
I beat Niles for once?
Well, unless Niles decides to use his synchronize feature to...
No!
Which is an option. He could just do it. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the old synchronize with the Way of Sympathy monk, because you can just at any point be like, I think I want to have the same initiative as you. And let's just roll for Harry. Harry gets a +10 to initiative. Holy shit. Good old initiative. And I will roll for the Quaggoth as well, just because we want to make sure we've got everything happening at once. The question is, do I have a Quaggoth mini?
What did you roll, Christian?
Oh, I have nothing added. I just rolled a flat 16, so...
Oh, you still beat me. I rolled an 11 with a +5.
No, yeah, I saw the dice.
Oh, you saw it come up?
Yeah. I don't know what the total result is. I just saw 11 from Niles come up in the feed, and I was like, yes!
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Awesome, alright, just...
Although you can just link yourself to Harry, right? It works like that too?
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you wanted to be first. So,
But it costs you
initiative...
a key point,
Initiative as it stands. Oh, Simon, what did you get for Ember?
I got 8.
So just add that. And what did you get
Oh.
for Niles, Matt?
11.
11. All right, perfect. So up first, we have Harry with the 23. I'm going to say that 23 with the Harry is him firing the arrow. I think that makes sense that that's him really quickly. And this also helps me delay making decisions for Harry while he's not
I
here.
will, if he rolled a 23, I will align to
Ooh.
Harry so I can then act first. Oh, yeah. They act quickly. Because I think I can choose to go before him as well. So if we say that Harry's action is taking the shot, then I can go immediately after him. So it makes
Perfect.
sense.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I will. I think, geez, what's Niles going to do? So I guess Niles is just going to take a second to take this scene in because he hasn't really had a proper look at this thing. And what does it look like? Does it look, aside from obviously the humanoid bear sort of look, does it look angry that it's been hit with an arrow, or does it just look like confused?
It looks almost... So to describe the creature again, imagine an enormous bipedal bear, large white, very long white fur, thicker around the shoulders and draping over, forming almost a little bit like Threin's bear skin cloak that he has around the shoulders. This very thick matted fur around the shoulders. The head is almost a bit compressed. The lower jaw marked almost with what looks like almost like a beard of white dropping down from below, along with more white fur coming out along the tufts of the ears, creating these long pointed tufted ears. The mouth, the way the lips are curled around, the mouth can't fully close. The teeth are always bared and always sort of on display. And it has these very long digitigrade paws that it stands on. But the claws at the front, it does have slightly opposable thumbs on the front claws. They're sort of pulled back a little bit. It almost looks like a bear that's gone through the Skyrim werewolf transformation is the best way to describe it.
So obviously there's like a semblance of intelligence because it is talking right now.
Yes.
So
It has spoken in common. A broken common that's been marked by the shape of the mouth, but it does seem to be speaking in common a little bit. Hey Dave, perfect timing.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's angry as far as I'm aware. So
the moment the arrow strikes into it, there's a moment of surprise, and you watch as its sort of front left-hand paw, the one that is connected to the shoulder that Harry shot, it slips for a moment. The creature has to catch itself on the side of the stone, and you can see this moment of shock, and then anger replaces it as it calls out like, "Why bites, bearskins? Why stings?"
Because we're scared.
Yeah, I think Niles is gonna say that. He's gonna put up his talon, to almost say like hold, and then he's just gonna say back to it, "Oh, sorry there. Don't mind us. We're just a bit frightened. That's all."
Why frightened, bearskins?
We can get that looked at if you don't eat us.
Why here? Why in Chasm? Why here?
We're on our way down towards the stone giant city. Do you know it?
Tasty? Looks like bird. Is it good to eat?
I wouldn't. I look down at myself and I'm like,
It actually seems to be looking more at Bart as it says this. A bit more bone. You're sort of a bit bonier. Bart's got a bit more flesh on his bones as it looks over towards the.
Well, I don't want you to be eating any of my friends here. They don't taste very good.
I'd say that's probably your. Oh yeah, let me update you. I'll update you to the same initiative as Harry, and you can choose to go ahead of him, can't you? Hey.
Yeah.
Perfect. In that case, then, Dave, I can now that you are here, welcome. I can give you Harry back. We rolled initiative. Harry got a 23.
I can see. Harry's a initiative boy.
Rolled pretty well for Harry's initiative. As the creature speaks, you see your arrow sticking out of its shoulder. What would Harry do? At this moment, you think you're still hidden, Harry. It sort of looked around in surprise, but the rest of the party is still drawing its attention.
I'm talking to it, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like Niles is talking to it.
Yeah, I mean, Harry will reposition. And I guess that's a bonus action hide.
Yes, please.
Just in case. 17.
Just real quickly, am I in front of the party at this point? I think
you don't have to be. You can be if you want to be.
I want to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Harry's gonna hold an action.
Okay.
He's gonna get his hacked weapon crossbow out, which is, as we discussed, like a black shadowy light, so you can't actually see it in the dark. It's not like a bright white light that says I'm a rogue right here. And he's gonna aim and hold, and if this guy takes a swing at Niles or any of his teammates, Harry's just gonna thump another couple in him.
100%. So any aggressive action toward your team, unleash the bolts.
Yeah. All
right. Awesome.
That's it.
Okay. Next up, we have Threign. I think we know what Threign's going to do. You watch as Threign looks across at this creature, looks at his sort of brown-grey bearskin cloak, looks back at the Quaggoth with its nice white cloak, nice white bearskin. You have a nice belt. I think I like that belt for my new cloak. What it say? Threaten me.
Oh man.
I think we all know Threign would do that. You watch as Threign pulls out the great axe, lowers it on his shoulder. You threaten us first. You come over with big claws. You tell us. You call us bearskins. That's rude. I have bearskin. Could take your bearskin if you were not careful.
Yeah, that's very threatening.
You in Quaggoth territory. You not threaten. I'm going to say Threign's also going to hold his action. He's not going to just lash out immediately. I'll say Threign will pause for a second. Seeing you're trying to talk to this thing, Niles, he'll hold his action as well, similar as Harry. Lyra.
All right, I think sticking with sort of the theme that's going on, shoots.
Oh, am I an initiative?
Gingerly.
Oh, you are not. What was your initiative? Did you click on your token?
Oh, sorry, I didn't think of doing that.
All right, what's your
So you
initiative?
got a flat 16.
Flat 16.
Yeah.
You are before Lyra. What would you like to do?
Okay, the conversation different way than I was expecting. You say this is Quaggoth territory. How many more of your kind are there?
Lots. We strong. We big tribe. It's our land. Our chasm.
Really, you're strong. I heard the strongest down here were the Duragar and the Stone Giants.
We hate pesky dwarves. We hate big giants. We hate...
And you watch as it slams down its claws into the stone, striking sparks.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold an action to attack. I want to use my action to try to get as much sort of talking as possible, maybe with like a persuasion check.
For sure.
Really, we'd heard we were coming down here to present a gift to the all-powerful Duragar, but if you are stronger than them, I thought everyone down here served them. The Quaggoths do not serve the Duragar?
Quaggoths serve no dwarves.
You can see it's almost spitting as it says this. Again, you watch as those claws begin to drag into the stone, these wicked sharp claws cutting through the stone in front of it. You can see it starting to get quite angry.
I know that you did tell me this, so just to fill the gap, a roll was made for Bart if he knew about Quaggoths last session. It was bad roll, so...
Sorry, I got like a 6
no, that's
or something.
fine. That might be good, because does that mean I probably didn't see one in the mines?
I'm going to say that you didn't see any down in the mines.
Okay. Well, if the Quaggoths are stronger, then I guess our gift should go to you and your clan. Would you take us? A way to show peace for the bites from before?
You watch as it reaches over, grabs the arrow between its teeth, tears it out, and spits it over the edge of the chasm.
This is act of aggression against Quaggoth. You leave. You leave.
But we have such an amazing gift, something strong that may help you remove those pesky Duragar.
What gift? What gift you have, tribe?
I need to present it to your leader, obviously, but I'll unsheath the Dawn Blade.
Ooh, make me a persuasion check, please, Bart.
Have it sort of shine with like the light of the surface world, something he probably doesn't see often.
Yeah, shies back and guards its eyes against the sudden light.
Only a 10, but a 17 because of that lovely +7.
You watch as the Quaggoth pauses.
You follow. Not to see, leader, but closer. You may enter Quaggoth territory.
Thank you. Very
Follow,
nice.
bearskins. Do not wander. Follow.
I know why it says bearskins.
Because you don't have a big, thick hide. It's not B-E-E-A. It's B-A-R-E.
Yeah. Okay, figured it out.
As the Quaggoth pulls itself over the side of the stone. Yeah, Lyra?
I was just going to say, before we sort of have a chance to head off, I think she might ask him, she's like, hey, just as I know that we did hurt you before, would you like me to heal you? Like, I can heal you using magic and make the bite a little less bitey.
You watch as it comes
Just
closer
sort of,
to you, Lyra, begins to sniff you.
You smell like drow. Fey touch drow.
Not drow. Eladrin. From similar place, but not quite the same.
Like peaceful myconids.
Myconid's weak. Myconid's pathetic.
Myconid's can sew flesh back together.
Not Quaggoth's flesh.
Harry.
Myconids get torn apart by claws and teeth.
Can I, because in my bag I've got a bunch still of the sea cucumber file.
Oh,
right?
I have that in my inventory.
Can I just sort of take one out? Like, I'm not going to uncork it or anything. I'm just going to be like, oh, is this sort of what you're smelling at the moment? Like, is this what the smell?
No, it's your magic. Smells like drow magic. You are elf.
Technically, yes. I'm Eladrin. It's a long story, actually. You haven't heard of the Flesh Sculptor by any chance, have you?
What is flesh sculptor? No, you are not. You smell not like other elves. You smell different. What are you?
I'm a Fey elf. I mean, you can see it's. I'm not brow. I'm kind of the wrong color for that one, but.
Taste blood, then know. Taste blood, and then know what you are.
Oh.
I guess she's gonna look around just to see if anyone nearby, because she doesn't have any plated weapons. She's like, does anyone have a dagger or something? Or just hands out palm.
No dagger, teeth good and sharp.
As it opens its maw, you see tiny flecks of rotten meat still stuck in the teeth towards the back. Layers, rows and rows of sharp teeth. And as its long tongue comes out and licks the side of its mouth and goes back in again, you get the distinct impression, Lyra, that you don't want this thing to bite you.
No. You see, here's the trouble. A little bit of blood, happy to give you. Via a bite, not so much. I mean, the particular type of elf that I am, we can be a little bit fragile, and sometimes things like bites from teeth can make us kind of sick. But I can, if you still want to taste the blood, I mean.
Must taste. Need to know to kill or not.
Lyra, I'm just going to lean over. Maybe we just let him be Threign-like. Yeah, I don't know. This is.
I have no issue humoring him.
We don't quite know what his level of appetite is at this point. Whether or not he'll just stop at a little nick or a bit more of a chomp. We don't know that, do we?
I was just thinking about just drawing a drop of blood with a blade. I mean.
Also, he took healing as an offense of calling him weak. Maybe these things are different.
Exactly. I mean, I don't really want to refuse them, to be honest. I mean,
is Harry with us, by the way, as we're starting to walk down?
Harry is still hiding, I think, at the moment, up above. Yeah. The Quaggoth is not leading you anywhere until he knows what Lyra is.
Oh, okay.
I think she just I put out a hand for someone's knife just to do a little finger drip.
Can I just prick it with my talon?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. You reach over, gently prick inside of the wrist, finger.
Oh, like in a non
back of the hand.
Yeah.
Back of the hand.
Oh.
Easy. Yeah. As you prick the back of Lyra's hand with your very sharp Owlin talons, Niles, you watch as a small drop of blood wells to the surface. The Quaggoth leans down, this long tongue just wiping across the back of your hand as it takes the blood in. You watch as it sits back.
You not taste like elf. I have eaten much elf. You taste different.
Weak myconids, not a threat.
Also, I mean, my body technically was made by the Flesh Sculptor. Visually, I look like this, but on the inside, I mean, who fucking knows what it could be? Might not be good for Quaggoth.
The Quaggoth unleashes your backstory, imagine.
So I mean, Lyra, the party did tell you way back when they sort of brought you back to life that some flesh from a dragon was used because your original body was gone. So this is actually
Can I ask the Quaggoth? I'm like, have you eaten dragon?
No, not tasted dragon. Would like to. Dragon looks yummy.
Are there any dragons down here?
Sometimes, but they are rare in the dark. Come, I not have to kill you. You not elf.
Thank you.
Well then.
This is one of those times where, like, not really knowing a huge amount about Quaggoths, but also you being an Eladrin and having been reconstituted, being brought back to life, has actually played in your favor. I think given that, Lyra and Bart, could I get both of you to roll me a history or a nature check? I want to see if there's anything you know about that statement that might jog memories a little bit. Let's see.
History will go back with Daddy's lessons.
That's a 0 from Lyra. That's a natural 1 - 1. That's a 0.
Wow.
That is almost impressive. Lyra, here's the thing. You know that maybe there's some like ancient beef with the Quaggoths. In fact, with your 0, you're pretty confident that the Quaggoths are actually an ancient lost species of elf, trapped in the dark, who slowly became more bestial as time went on. Maybe they're a long lost cousin. Bart with a 6.
Oh, it could be family beef though.
Maybe. Bart with a 6. It's just, unfortunately, you just don't, you haven't heard much about Quaggoths in your time down here. There's not been something that the Duergar talked about. It's not something that the slaves talked about. Beyond avoid is the only thing you know.
I'll go up to Niles. I don't like the way he was looking at me. You saw the way he was looking at me?
Oh,
Like-
yes, I did.
As
Looks
both
past
of you
them.
look over, you can see it sort of gives a bit of side eye and licks its lips and then continues walking on, leading you away.
Eyes narrow a bit, and I just let out a bit of a hoot.
Maybe Hoot, we can like convince them to help us with the Duergar, but I'm
They
just
don't like the Duergar, so that might work into our favor.
get those like knuckles of yours, just ready to like punch a throat if they look at us too weirdly.
Oh, I'm always ready to punch a throat or two. Don't you worry.
As you begin following the Quaggoth down the tiny trails that border the edge of the chasm and carve through its side, you hear,
Owlin meat is yummy, and I really want it in.
no, you don't hear that. As you follow the sorry, couldn't resist. As you follow the Quaggoth down the chasm walls, it leads you off the main pathway almost immediately. The goat tracks that you've been following, these very thin, very narrow pathways carved into the stone, it leads you immediately off them onto crumbling rock walls that are obviously exceptionally dangerous. As you look below you, it's just darkness as the chasm drops away, however many hundreds, maybe even thousands of feet into the darkness. Could I please have from everybody...
Before we roll,
Hello.
as we go, if I can maybe be taking a bit of a point and using Mulder to sort of at least stabilize the path as much as I can,
Yes.
without pissing off the Quaggoth for being too slow. Like, so it's sort of like just getting stepping stones even for us. Like,
100%. It'll slow you down a little bit. Every so often, the Quaggoth will like pause, look back, go,
Is slow.
and then sort of give you all a bit of a look again as it looks at Bart and Niles, a little lick of the lips. Just a very subtle one.
I'll point to the blade. The blade, you remember? Yes.
Blade.
In that
Niles
case,
just comes
flies.
off from the it was a bit tricky.
Ember, you can spider climb because of your cloak. You will have advantage on this check.
That's right. Would I be technically, because I'm a Firbolg, would it be calling me a bearskin as well? Because don't I have like a bit of a fur covering, like in a light bluish color?
You do have a yeah, you do. That's a very, very good point. I'm gonna say, Ember, that your sort of your natural propensity for hiding away in plain sight, blending into the darkness behind you, kind of helped you out. Having Threign and Bart in front kind of drew its eyes. As I'm going to say, yeah, maybe while Lyra is making some stepping stones, as you just climb alongside next to the Quaggoth using your spider climb, you watch as it pauses and sort of sniffs you for a moment, looks you up and down.
What is you? You smell not like elf. Smell different. What is you?
I is me, and maybe we are we. I think you're a very similar color. Maybe I'm like you, but from the surface. Trying to convince him that we're the same.
You are surface Quaggoth.
I think that's probably a very good comparison.
Wear claws, wear teeth. Why smell like goat?
I've learned to use tools a little bit. We're not. You can tell you're a little bit bulkier than me. I have to be a little bit more tactical with how I get about things.
Could you make me a persuasion check with disadvantage, please, Ember? As a Firbolg, it's a 6 already. Let's see the second one, just in case it's a 0 like Ali's was. No, we'll take the 6.
Yep.
You watch as the Quaggoth sniffs you again, looks you up and down and goes,
You not Quaggoth. You something else.
Surface Quaggoth. I'm just going to keep nodding then and just keep scurrying along the side then, because clearly my idea to try and trick him has not worked.
It's a little bit surprised by your climbing ability. That's the main reason why it's not taking this any further right now. Alrighty, so for those following along who don't have spider climb or the ability to fly, Bart, Harry, Lyra, and Threign, could I please get a athletics or acrobatics check? You have advantage for Lyra's efforts in creating these little platforms to assist.
I cast the spider climb last session.
Harry, you're also good to go. You don't need to cast, you're good to go. I'll roll for Threign. That's a natural 20 for Threign.
Whoa.
Lyra, that's a natural 1 for a 6, and then an 8.
An 8.
Yikes.
Getting the nat ones out early.
Yeah. Here's what happens. As you begin making your way along the pathway, Lyra, your attention is so focused on mold earth, creating these platforms for the rest of the party, that you're not paying as much attention to where you're standing. And as you get round to a very narrow section where the pathway curves around the edge of the chasm into this small chamber off the main side of the fissure, you step on a patch of stone, expecting it to hold your weight, and it doesn't. There's this moment, and you suddenly start falling as the pathway caves away underneath you. Could I please get a dexterity saving throw, Lyra?
Yep. Can I ask a quick question first?
Yes.
You said it's like a hole that like leads into like, was it a chasm?
Imagine like the massive fissure. There's almost like these sections where it's split off. The fissure is so large it's shattered the earth around it, and there's almost like these splinters leading off it. This side chasm.
How wide
is the other side of the wall?
Like, yeah, like so sort of like quite a narrow one, or sort of.
Not at this entrance point. It narrows.
Side.
It narrows towards the end. Imagine almost like a field. It narrows right at the very end. At the opening, it's probably about sort of 100, 120 feet in diameter. Like still fairly narrow compared to the rest of the chasm, the rest of the fissure. But this side.
Was this a saving throw?
Yeah, dexterity
I was
saving
just going to
throw.
say, before I do the saving throw, can I just use phase step to just pop me back?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Footing?
Absolutely.
Just checking. No, it was an acrobatics check, wasn't it? Okay, sorry, It wasn't a saving. I
As
was going to say, because you do have my protection.
Lyra, as you go to fall, there's this moment of panic as your stomach immediately drops away. You feel that sudden rush as you drop. You dissolve into mist. Stepping out of the mist, up on the platform next to Harry and Ember and the Quaggoth who are currently standing. The Quaggoth, as you go to drop, you watch as it begins to like reach forward as if it's going to try and like climb down. And then you appear right in front of it. You watch as it kind of freezes, looks at you. That big toothy grin, this permanent toothy smile or snarl that's on its face, falters for a moment, and then it pulls back and goes,
has tricks like drow.
I have a lot of tricks, but I'm not a drow. But thanks for reaching out to maybe try and catch me. I've got a lot of handy magic that drow and other elves can't do. If any of it's of service to the Quaggoth, I'm happy to help how I can.
You watch as it kind of looks you up and down again, and then continues walking away from you without saying anything else.
Internally, she's just swearing and and like feeling mentally like, oh god, I almost died.
Do you want to, Harry and Ember, you were both standing next to the Quaggoth. Do you both want to make insight checks into its behavior? Lyra thinks it was going to reach out and try and catch her, which is really nice. Do you both want to make an insight check just to see what you get from the Quaggoth's behavior?
Oh, can I roll an insight check?
I'm not standing next to the Quaggoth. I'm
staying far away.
Yeah, I'm in the shadows.
Ember, all good. Yeah, Niles, you're flying around too. Very fair.
Yeah.
Threign with his natural 20 on his athletics check. I'm going to say that Threign has actually pulled out 2 ice picks that he uses for like scaling ice walls from in the frozen north, and is just like digging around the. Oh yeah, doesn't Lyra charm when she does? What's your current fey?
It's autumn. It's been autumn for the entire campaign, I think.
Shall I roll?
No, because it's
from where you leave, right?
I'm assuming you can choose like.
What does the feature say exactly? Good catch, obscenities.
After using phase step, up to 2 creatures you see within 10 feet of you.
After implies you've done the phase step, it's where you're teleporting to. I would say that it's absolute because it's after you use it, not before. So when you've used the phase step, you've teleported. That very much reads to me that you're doing it to the place you're teleporting to. Did you want to charm the Quaggoth?
I know. I'm not going to go because it's only for a minute, and so this walk is going to take much longer than a minute. So it's like, and he knows that he's being charmed, and so afterwards he'll just be pissed. Like,
good call. Just want to double check.
Yeah, good call.
Niles, you can roll an insight check. You're flying around watching as well.
21.
21, Niles. The speed at which it was reaching out was never going to catch her, and you watched it lick its lips. With 21, Niles, you're pretty confident it was getting ready to collect her body from the chasm floor.
Oh my. Now I'm beginning to wonder, like, should we be doing this? Like, he's got this internal monologue of, like, worth it? No, it's
being
fine.
led to dinner.
Food is here, brothers, sisters. Eat and be full and be strong.
The Quaggoth is just like, I'm out to just get some takeaway. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Owlin eats. Delivery is here. Yum, yum, yum.
That is definitely something that now exists in Oxenfurt and Palin. Is you can hire the Aarakocra and Owlin messenger guilds to do food delivery as well.
I can see that being a thing.
The nobles 100% be doing that shit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. As you continue making your way around into this narrow fissure, the fire that you saw before, Niles, still hasn't been relit. If anything, the darkness now swallows up almost the entire end of this chasm, making it impossible to see much of anything in the distance. But as you get closer, the Quaggoth begins to make a series of hooting-like growls. There's a moment, and then you hear a reply. It's "How, how, how," and silence as it echoes for a moment, and then a similar hooting cry coming from in front. You watch as, Lyra?
I was just going to say, would it be possible, like, from knowledge of other beast-like, lupine-ish, bear-like creatures, can I sort of, using a bit of insight or something from, what she knows, can she tell if these are seem to be like, hey, everyone, I've brought home food, get ready for fight kind of things, or I've brought, people in, don't kill them, like, calm versus, like, aggressive, excited, I guess.
I would say nature or insight.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be another natural one.
Not
I can
one.
feel
Not
it
that
coming.
one.
I can feel it coming. 10. Yikes, Lyra. It's not a good night for you, is it?
Not going well.
Lyra, unfortunately, bears don't really do the whole like hooting heads up warning noises. It's much more of like a primate kind of behavior. It definitely seems like it's a notification. It's letting others of its kind know something. You're not sure what the message is though. With an inside of 10, it's using its own language. There's elements of so one of the things you've noticed as well is its common is very broken, and it's using occasionally words in undercommon. Does anyone here actually speak undercommon? I don't think so. I did check that before. I'll double check Threign. No, cool. Threign does speak primordial though. That may come in handy. No, that's okay. Cool. It does seem to be using some warped version of undercommon for sure. Alrighty. As these hooting bark-like replies echo out through the chamber, the Quaggoth picks up its pace a little bit, moving a little bit faster. The pathways in this section of the side chasm are far more stable and have been actively maintained, not by any gifted stonemason or by someone coming along and creating bridges, repairing them, but clearly by the Quaggoths themselves. You can see large gouges in the stone where they have carved out these pathways, creating an easy mode of access in and out of the side of the chasm. And you can see countless scratches, claw marks along the walls where generations of Quaggoths have marked out this area. As you round the last of the corners heading towards this outcropping you can just now barely see in the distance, you're greeted by a rather gruesome sight. Stone spear-like, I would say like spear-like stone protrusions emerge from the cavern walls. And you can see, much like how a butcher bird spears through prey to store it for later on the thorns of a tree, you can see bodies hanging, half speared, half jammed onto these stone spikes. A few Duergar.
Okay, good.
A deep gnome. That one very mummified, old, partially eaten as well.
That's all good. Okay.
Along with a long, fleshy form with long tentacles, the front half of it having been consumed as it stabbed across 3 different spikes, squid-like in appearance, but with the mouth and eyes at the front. But you've asked about aboleths before.
Mm-hmm.
These Quaggoths have killed and speared an aboleth onto one of these, couple of these stone spikes.
What the fuck?
These are some advanced Quaggoths. Full on. A question, actually.
Yeah.
As we do have a moment in between the explanation, which is awesome so far. Bart would like to take a look at the spikes, the surrounding area that the Quaggoths have set up in. Does this look similar? And he's looking for markings on the ground of like a disc that someone would rub their hand across. Does this look like where the dream happened? It was the City of Spikes, the Spike Teeth or whatever.
Stone
that was the
teeth.
name of it, right?
They were massive stalagmites and stalactites carved out, like huge. We're talking like skyscrapers essentially formed out of the natural stonework.
As far as I'm aware, that might have been like hundreds of thousands of years ago when the giants were around and like mountains changing, shit like that. I would like to just keep an eye out for anything like that in case that's where we are.
Absolutely, Bart. Could you roll me a perception or investigation check now? You don't find any evidence of that yet.
Okay.
But it's good that you're on the lookout for that, for sure. That will come in handy later.
14 for later.
How many Quaggoths are there in this area? Are we kind of like coming into their camp now, or what's
It looks like you're being brought to the edge of the camp. You can see this border here serves 2 functions. 1, storage of food for later. 2, a very clear warning. Back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gladiator's not making too many rounds.
Who has a passive perception of 15 or higher? Lyra, Harry. Lyra, you speak Elvish. Harry, do you speak Elvish? Perfect. Lyra and Harry, as you begin making your way past these stone spikes, you can.
No.
What's wrong?
Continue.
What's wrong? You don't need to be worried. As you make your way past these stone spikes, Lyra and Harry, you can see towards the base of one of them a very old, partially caved-in skull. And very, very faint writing, Elvish script in dark red, probably written in blood. It looks like the start of the Elvish script for Runaway.
Ooh.
Okay.
I thought one of the bodies was still going to be like alive, having been stabbed on the rock.
Okay.
I think as soon as I read that, she might stop, sort of looking around as if she's interested at something, like, not like, oh shit. Question. What size is that aboleth?
What size? It's massive. Yeah.
Medium
Aboleths are fairly big. I'll just quickly pull up the exact size of them so I can give you this information as accurately
They
as
also
possible.
need to swim.
They're aquatic in nature.
Yeah. I know they're not in the water. Is like.
So aboleths are large. Aboleths are large. So
Drag him around. I can't. Drag him around on the floating disc.
20
Large.
feet long.
Stick him below.
Yeah, 20 feet long. 6.1 meters in length. Weighing up to 2,900 kilograms.
There goes my idea of aboleth Tim.
Aboleth Tim.
Were you gonna use the spores to reanimate an aboleth? Yikes!
I thought it could be fun.
Oh, fuck.
It's too big.
An aboleth doesn't like a myconid aboleth doesn't need to swim.
I'm into it.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I think I might, because it's we've just got the one Quaggoth like sort of in eyesight kind of thing at the moment, eh?
Oh.
Right. Can Lyra sort of start trying to like gather everyone around and start sort of like passing a message in Elvish? Because I think most of us speak Elvish, don't we?
Everyone except Threign, I believe.
Yes.
All right. So I guess I'll in Elvish. Like,
Really doesn't help paint your case that you're not a drow.
No, maybe I'm trying. I am hoping that he doesn't know the difference, right? So I'm trying to spatter it with a dwarvish accent.
Okay.
So you're trying to do Elvish with a dwarvish accent. Your ancestors frown upon you this day, Lyra.
Oh,
Can Harry
that's
just be
all
like?
this time.
Can Harry catch on and just be like, "Hey guys, that's interesting, eh?" And just point at it.
Oh, like straight up at the spike.
Yeah. Knowing that everyone except Threign can read that.
Yeah, and then maybe just sort of start going. It's like, what is the plan? I think maybe it's best to run, considering that's what that message says.
It might be a little bit harder, easier said than done. I say in Elvish as well, considering we're already at the edge of the
The
game.
Quaggoth showed a lot of emotion that can be molded.
This sign says run.
Yes, because they were being eaten by it. We're not.
Technically, it says run or what? Trails off.
Whoa. I wonder what they meant.
Anyone takes prisoners. The drow take prisoners. The myconids is somewhat that we know there's warlike ones.
Looks more like the Quaggoths take larders.
Dead.
They take stock for their larder.
As we are walking past, though, I'm not completely devoid of reason, so I am going to send off a channel divinity just to make sure that there's no funky stuff going on with the corpses, not in some sort of like Indian graveyard where we're about to be haunted.
No undead fiends or celestials within range.
Okay.
That's good to know.
And the ground isn't desecrated, even though
The
it
ground
looks
is not
real
desecrated. It's not.
Okay.
Somehow this is not enough to desecrate it. As you follow a bit more reticently, I think is fair to say. There's a bit of a delay. You watch as the Quaggoth that's with you kind of pauses and watches your reticence, and then looks back at the spikes, and again, snarl or smile. You don't really know which yet. That almost like, because of the way its mouth closes, it's always locked in with this very bared teeth expression. It widens again as it looks at you guys, looks up at the spikes, looks back and goes,
You like warning. Keeps intruders away.
Mighty kills. Is that some sort of monstrous Akuatoan?
Ha! Aboleth. Arthonot killed it.
Who? Arthanol.
Thonot. You not know this? Thonot. Shaman.
as it switches from the undercommon word to a common word.
You have a shaman in your ranks.
Strong shaman. Strong mind.
Is he Quaggoth like you?
Only Quaggoth can be Thonot.
Is he strongest?
His mind is strongest.
Okay.
Is that something that you value amongst your kind? Strong minds?
Yes. Yes, strong mind. Leader. Shaman. Thonot.
Okay, well, it is a mighty kill, this Aboleth.
Yes, show strength of tribe. Strength of Quaggoth.
Much stronger than Duragar. We made a right choice. And I'll start continuing to follow.
The Quaggoth almost lazily reaches out and rips off one of the arms of the Duragar, speared on the stone spikes, and begins chewing it almost absent-mindedly as it begins walking away. This sickening crunch as the bones of the upper forearm are just crushed in between its teeth. You walk for another 5 or 10 minutes through the dark, the pathway opening up into this large platform, massive stone surface, the bottom of this cavern. The area around you no longer exposed to the vast drop-off of the fissure behind you, but a real chasm, maybe carved out by water centuries ago before it all drained away into the fissure behind you. There are other features here too. Caves carved out into the stone on the walls around you, but seemingly abandoned. The signs that they were once used, slashes, marks in the stonework, indicating that this was once a much larger tribe, but now seems strangely empty. As you get to the edge of what almost looks like a large semi-stone palisade, more of those stone spikes, but these ones arranged to create outward-facing prongs. The Quaggoth that's been leading you holds up a hand and slams it down.
You come no further. Stay. Bring Thonot here. Stay.
Okay.
No wander. No snoop. Stay. Understand, Bearskins?
Understood.
I have feathers.
He watches it pauses and holds this information for a second.
Bearskins, featherbacks.
Yes, Ember.
Oh, I was just waiting until he goes away, but has he seen Flicker at this stage? Because I imagine that he would be trying to sit under the cloak and hide from this thing.
He doesn't seem to have been as interested in Flicker. You get the sense, Ember, that Flicker's partially transparent body gives off very strong I'm magical vibes. Quaggoth doesn't seem very interested. And couldn't smell it. There's nothing to smell on Flicker, right? Flicker wouldn't have a scent. As he sniffs it, it just writes it off as magic, which is interesting because it means that this Quaggoth clearly has some experience with illusionary magic as well, if it so easily writes this off.
So I'm assuming the Quaggoth is leaving.
You watch as it begins moving around the edge of these stone spikes, moving out of the ground, and as it gets towards the edge of what almost looks like a stone gate, pushes through and vanishes beyond the edge of the stonework.
Niles is going to look around and see if we're being watched by anyone else.
Can I please have a perception check, Niles?
Yes. Yes. Would be a perception. Is it a perception check?
Perception check, please.
Yeah.
Or investigation, your choice, but I figured you'd pick perception.
That's a natty 20, baby. 25.
That's a natural 20. Niles, you are being watched. Quaggoths, like most mammals, unlike us, unfortunately, humans got the raw end of the deal on this one. Quaggoths have a tapetum, a layer on the retina that reflects light to help capture that incoming light and give them better night vision. That's why dog's eyes and cat eyes give you that reflective green glow. It's called the tapetum, that layer. Humans got really fucked over by not having one. Fucking primates. Goddamn worst. Opposable thumbs, tapetum, I don't know, 50-50. Which one would you take?
It would be pretty cool.
Would be pretty cool. As you begin looking around, I'd say with the Quaggoth gone, Flicker emerges and climbs back onto Ember's shoulder. At this point, I think some of you do have lights, right? I think Ember has the seltzer and the lichen glowing as well. As that glow moves out, you catch 2, 3 sudden reflections before the figures move back. The caves above you, these holes in the wall above these stone spikes, there are other Quaggoths watching. At least 3 of them. And with a natural 20, you also catch with your uncanny Owlin vision. There's a dark elf here too. Up in one of the upper caverns. Sitting back, resting on what almost looks like a fur skin rug.
Fucking
leaning
everywhere.
over, watching.
What?
Watching
Zaylin,
what's going
and
down.
then
Interesting.
Zeom, and now this one.
What the fuck? I thought he was.
You know, Zeom's with the Brilliance Tower.
Zerom,
Zaylin is on the surface world, as far as we're aware. So that's what I mean. They're everywhere.
Like, how far
It's
away
almost so they're probably like 200 feet like towards the Quaggoth village and up in one of the upper caves. It's almost like they're in one of the Quaggoth caves watching.
What?
With a natural 20 as well, Niles, I'm going to give you a bit more as well because a natural 20 is pretty important. There's no way the Quaggoths carved these. The stone spikes, the stone... This was done with magic for sure.
Whoa.
Not with claws, not with spikes. And even more interestingly, you can see signs of what almost looks like drow architecture, dark elf architecture inside the Quaggoth village. The cave that this drow is currently in, it's not carved out like the other caves the Quaggoths are in. This one actually has, it's perfectly square. You can see that it's almost at the back away from the others, and at the far end of the cave it almost looks like there's a door right at the very back, just hidden behind the shadows cast from the lights that you carry, that leads to somewhere deeper.
I, in very hushed whispers, so I'm going to stage this, and probably in Elvish because I want to make it so the nearest Quaggoths probably don't understand what I'm saying, and I know that most of the others do, and I'm just going to say, we're not alone down here, and I think there's also a dark elf amongst their midst. I sort of gesture towards where I see it, or them, or whatever. I think perhaps maybe this, what they say, this Thronot might not be a Quaggoth after all. Might be a dark elf.
They did say it was a Quaggoth, and they seemed very particular about their kind. Also, just so we don't cause any offense, I think it pronounced it Thonot, Th.
No, sorry.
Look, just in case a fight's going to happen, plus from the sounds of it wanting to go to the Duergar or the Stone Giants today anyway, that's why we're going down here. My hope was that these things may be able to be guides for us, maybe even similar to the plans for the Theocracy, a military force. They have a hatred for the Duergar. The Duergar have an army. Why not arm ourselves with an army? But just for 1 second, and I'll call over Threign and...
Actually, I would be very interested to see Thraign's kind of taking this all in, because he is from a tribe, right?
Yeah.
I sort of look at.
You see Threign looking around, taking this all in.
Is this not? Pardon my ignorance, but you lived in a tribe. I'm assuming not like this, but similar.
Not quite like this, but we look out for each other like these Quaggoths seem to do. We have better walls and better protection. This. Look at this stone. Cut this open easily. Could break it underfoot.
Interesting.
And we don't tend to spear things on those spikes is outside of village. That is waste of good furs and meat.
That's a good point.
I'll call Ember over after Threign as well, those two. And I'm going to, it'll last the next 8 hours, so I'm assuming our fight with the Druigar, or at least our arrival to them and the Obsidian Foot's going to happen in the next 8 hours. So I'm going to cast Aid, bolstering us with a sort of surge of energy. So us three will get 5 increase to our maximum hit points for 8 hours.
Nice.
Nice. Perfect.
How many?
Lyra. 8 hit
Oh, I was
points.
just gonna say before.
Oh, no, this is only 3. It's not the same as speech. So it's just me. I chose Ember because Ember's a little bit more squishier of us, and Threign has, funny enough, the lowest AC despite us having a lot of backliners.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense.
Just switching to Druidic, and I'm assuming that Ember's sort of the only one that speaks Druidic in the party. If the only language I have that someone else knows that's not Elvish.
Yeah.
But I think trying to sort of hint at that drow after what Niles was saying, I think Ember, it's how recognizable do you reckon that cloak is?
That's a very good question. I mean, it's a very particular cloak that that
Didn't they say it was the prince's?
exactly.
That was, yeah. I think maybe have a story, depending on, what side, that elf is landing on, if it's one of Zalen's crew or outcast. Maybe be ready to use that.
That's assuming it's a Lolthsworn drow. If it's a Darmirian drow, you've got nothing to worry about. Wow, no, sorry. It's not that you've got nothing to worry about, but specifically, they don't care about your cloak.
It's a different set of things to worry about.
Very different set of things to worry about.
Yeah.
I say just make sure you've got a convenient story in your back pocket, depending on if they come accusing or celebrating.
I mean, you're right. I could just say that it was part of a trade on someone that we were passing by and needed some resources. I don't, but we'll come up with something. We'll try and be convincing.
I was having, I think maybe,
Are you still talking?
it's...
Druidic, they're talking Druidic to each other right now.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking maybe, if we just say that you picked it off a body. Because, it's you found the body of...
Corpse looting.
Is it Zalen?
Zalen.
Yeah, Zalen, you found the body of the drow woman. The nice cloak was on it.
That's it. We can say maybe when we were facing the... oh, God, I've forgotten the name of it.
Killed by the Kuatoa.
Kuatoa. Perfect. That sounds good to me.
Niles, Harry, and Bart, you hear as Lyra and Ember just talk at each other in Druidic. You've got no fucking clue what they're saying.
Sorry, I don't know. The drow can probably speak Elvish.
I don't think I've heard you speak that language before. It's rather beautiful.
Oh, I heard them, Niles. They're talking shit about you.
Oh, what did I do? I'm sorry. I'm just
It's
trying
at
to.
this moment.
It's all right, Al.
It's at this moment that you hear almost what can only be described as the sound of a very deep drum. Emerging from inside the spiked compound, the stone palisade wall, you watch as 2 Quaggoths emerge, banging away at the skin drums. Behind them, another Quaggoth walks. This one, however, is standing much more upright. You can see that it is wearing what looks like a long scarf around its shoulders, and its fur has been braided with beads and with gemstones. As it begins walking towards you, the Quaggoth that you had spoken with before follows behind it. There's a fresh cut across its face, bleeding into the white fur. As the 2 Quaggoths banging the drum step towards you, they move the skin drums behind, pushing them back onto their shoulders, a leather strap holding them in place, and you realize that these skin drums look remarkably like human or dwarf skin as they push them aside. As the leading Quaggoths, these ones with paint drawn across their their skin as well, across their fur, spiral red-like markings, creating this pattern across their chests that moves up onto their shoulders. They bare their teeth and growl softly. It's at this moment the Quaggoth with the scarf reaches up with its fingers onto its head and looks at you. Niles, Lyra, Threign, Harry, Ember, and Bart, you immediately feel this presence enter your minds as this moment of almost time dilation, this moment of slowness pauses for a second, and then you hear in your minds, "What comes to the Quaggoth village? What comes to the free Quaggoth tribe? Speak, strangers." As the Quaggoth doesn't open its mouth, but instead speaks directly through a telepathic link to all of you.
Just in case this is some sort of demon, Lyra was right to be cautious. Like, we don't want to get fucked with. I'll just send off another divine sense, just now that we can see the Thonot.
Unfortunately, no celestial fiends are undead here.
Okay, no, that's fine. I know that mind flayers aren't fiends, but it's worth checking. Like, okay.
So like looking around the
I'll speak first. I was the one who had mentioned you are the Thonot, the shamanic leader of these warriors?
I am Thonot Gruktar. State your business. State your purpose here.
Thonot Gruktar, we had come beseeching an audience with who we'd assumed was the leaders of the Underdark, the Duergar and their large stone allies. We were told by your hunter, however, that it is the Quaggoths that are the true apex alphas. We have a gift.
Your words are honeyed. I read your mind like an open book. We are the apex predators, that much is true. But you want something from us. But you feel a sudden push as the telepathy becomes a much deeper version of detect thoughts. Could I please get a wisdom saving throw?
Unhappily.
As it pushes a bit deeper. Yeah, that's right. There are psionic Quaggoths called Thonots. If you did not know this, you now have to subscribe. I don't think anyone knew that. 15. 15 is the DC, but that is very clutch. As that presence pushes, you feel your resistance against this thing begin to fade and break. And then you fall back on your training. As a member of the Eris Theocracy, you've had training to resist psionic or mental manipulation or interrogation. Your walls immediately come down to rise higher than ever. Strong mental barrier as you focus on a complex sequence of dance moves, blocking out all other thought. You watch as the Thonot grimaces for a moment. Your defenses are interesting. You have had psionic training.
A little bit of training in many areas. But your instincts are as true as ever. There is something I want. This gift comes with a key that would be needed to unlock it. It is powerful, however. Do you have something that I could show you it against? It'll enable you to slay things like that aboleth without the need of even a pack single-handedly. And I'll pull out the Dawnblade and let it shine, and wait to see if he has a sort of response.
You bring the sun to the depths with you. You bring light into the dark.
There are many creatures that are weak to it, fear it.
You will find it brings attention to you.
Is this what we saw? As it looks down and you feel the thought directed instead to the Quaggoth behind it with the cut on its cheek. The Quaggoth shakes its head. some conversation happens between the Thonot and the Quaggoth that you're not privy to for a moment. As it turns its full attention, you feel that presence in your mind retreat for a moment. And then as it returns again, stronger than ever, the Quaggoth turns back towards you. So, one of you was foolish enough to fly around the darkness with a light, which means we are not the only ones to have seen you. You are lucky, strangers. Were we any other Quaggoth tribe, you would have been devoured, torn apart.
We have no fear of the light and the darkness due to this mighty weapon. Can I show you? I say a second time.
Show us.
Looking around, is there something that I can? I want to pump in a second level divine smite. I'm wanting to smack the fuck out of something to sort of amp up the weapon as much as I can. Is there anything nearby that looks like it wouldn't be missed?
As the intention of what you're doing comes back across the psionic link, you watch as the Quaggoth turns. Again, that presence leaves your mind as it gives a command to one of the other Quaggoths, who leaves. Presence returns. I will bring you something to demonstrate. Flesh.
Thank you.
To show your power.
Oh no. No.
But could you please roll me a d10 to see what gets... Could you bring a d10 to see what the Quaggoths bring you? I'm not just going to have it be something specific. I'm going to... Let's let the dice decide what they bring.
There's a 1.
But... emerging from inside the Quaggoth camp, you watch as one of the Quaggoths with the painted torso drags a Duergar by the feet. The Duergar is battered, bruised, and as it is dragged out and thrown on the ground, you recognize this Duergar, Bart.
No way.
As you look upon its form, if you were to dress it up in fine armor, hand it a whip...
No fucking way.
This would be one of the Duergar who helped remove your wings.
What the fuck?
Okay, so not Obsidian Foot himself.
Not Obsidian Foot himself.
direct
Obsidian Foot is
likeness.
not being captured by Quaggoths. This is one of his many underlings.
I think the first emotion is instant happiness. The fact that he was captured instantly confirms the wants of trying to get the Thonots as allies. Everything is like the final piece of a puzzle falling into the exact place that I wanted it. And I get some lovely revenge. As it's slumped in front of me, it's not Obsidian Foot, but it is an appetizer. Without a second thought, stepping forward, following through from the waist leftwards like a baseball bat, the Dawnblade is going to come straight for the head. I'm guessing because he's injured and like slumped in front, is he like prone? Would I have advantage?
He's prone. You would have advantage. You watch as he slowly tries to raise himself up, looks at your party and goes, "What the? Why aren't you all dead?" As he looks at the Quaggoths looking at you, not attacking you. We've got an unnatural 20 for the first one. Yeah, if Bart had missed, that'd be pretty funny.
That was the advantage. 9 and a 4 natural plus 6.
Yep.
So a natural 20. Sorry, not an unnatural 20 for the hit. And like I mentioned, I'm going to sink a second level divine smite into that. So that's going to be
feeling this is going to be brutal.
It's going to be 3d8 plus another d8 because of the effects of the Dawnblade. The Dawnblade adds on an extra
when you divine smite
dice
through
of divine smite when I divine smite through it. A d6 of radiant damage onto it. All the damage is going to be radiant damage rather than bludgeoning. So I would like to think, rather than previously where the sort of like slashes through things, I'm wanting just like some like Warhammer celestial explosion of just white light. Let's see how much this has. Also, this is the first time I'll technically have divine smited with the Dawnblade, and there are some...
Yeah, this will be a charge.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you've got, it started with 1 charge. You get to add a second charge now. And you've got to make a D10 roll to see if you...
do you want me to do that after damage or before?
After damage.
Okay.
Because the damage still happens.
Yep. Two-handed, so it's a D10, and then a D6.
This is going to be brutal.
6. Look, fuck it. I'm trying to amp this thing up, and this is revenge. I'm also going to slap a strike of the stone giants to deal an extra 1d6 and send him flying.
So overkill. I love it.
Heavily injured, prone enemy. That's another 9 damage. So we've got
20 points of damage, and then the divine smite now.
Oh,
this is going to be brutal.
It's 2 plus 1 plus 1, so 4d8.
18.
38 points of combined bludgeoning and radiant damage.
As the sword comes down, the light burns away. There is nothing but a shadow left on the ground. Like, as the light burns the dwarf corpse, there's just this imprint, the shadow of where the dwarf was lying on the ground. All you hear is this single choke scream, and then it's gone.
1 down.
How satisfied are you on a scale of 1 to 10, Bart?
This is intoxicated. I've kind of forgotten about the Thonots for a moment. Everything is going exactly how... the Quaggoths. Everything's going exactly how he wanted it to. It's like a battle plan unfolding in his mind how he wants... the best circumstances occurring in front of him, and just the feeling of getting some sweet justice on all the shit I've had to deal with.
That satisfaction flows back through the psychic link. You see the Thonot, that psionic connection with it, as it looks down at the shadow of the dwarf on the stone where once there was a living creature, now there's just this charred ash outline. You watch as the Thonot pauses and looks up, that large toothy grin across its face.
Good. This is adequate as a gift.
With a stipulation, however. You brought the perfect thing for this stipulation forward. What once stood here, the words were somewhat honeyed. We were seeking the Duergar, but not as friends. I beseeched all of you in case you might prove powerful allies and strong hunters, and I've been confirmed of that as soon as I saw your front gates. This mighty weapon will be yours, and will even remove one of your main rivals here in this territory. You just need to assist us in that.
Duergar are not rivals. Duergar are prey. Duergar are our food.
Even since they allied with the stone giants?
So, you know what you walk into.
We're attacking them today.
You attack the stone giants.
There may be a way of not having to fight them. I'll look back to the others. I think we need it's going very well. Final sort of thing to maybe push him over the edge. In Elvish, can one of you show the spike from inside the Behir skull?
I could do one better. I pull out the Behir skull with the heartstone in it. I pull it out of the bag. I don't know.
From the bag of holding, so giant Behir.
Oh, no,
you don't have the whole Behir skull. It's just the fragment of it.
Yeah. Whatever the fragment is. I think.
There's no way the Behir skull was going to fit inside the bag.
No, sorry.
You guys
I was
carved
thinking,
it out. Yeah.
Was Threign carrying it, or did I put it in the bag of holding?
I think you put it in the bag of holding.
Okay. and I sort of say, with, I guess we're all connected to the telepathic link at this point, right?
Yes, yeah. You're all hearing each other's thoughts, at least the surface thoughts.
I look through the bag of holding and I say, we have encountered the creatures of the deep already. We have defeated the Behir, or a Behir, that seem to be controlled by the stone giants below. And I pull out the crystal with the spike on it.
Due to our own reasons, as he shows, we can connect with these giants. And I'll show my palm and even gesture and look towards some other people's palms.
Show your stones, you watch as the Thonot pulls back for a second.
Ah, you wear the giant corruption. You are tainted by their magic.
Yes, I agree. I didn't choose to have this in me.
You will need to be careful heading below. There is a miasma of the mind there, from the giants or the Durga, but I can sense it even here, with my awakened mind.
Do you know what it is? What caused
Fear.
Well, their fear is not one that I hold in my heart. I'll hold out the blade, sort of pointed towards him, but not like I'm not giving it to him yet, and like not even probably right now, not until the deal is done. I'd probably even be thinking that in my mind.
Do you want to roll that D10 as well, Bart, just in case you get a 1 or a 2?
Yes. Okay, so Dawnblade. So roll a D10 first, and then we see if anything even happens after that.
Yep.
So I'm not wanting a 1 or a 2. That's a 5. We're good.
You're good. So you can mark off that charge. Now it's a little bit easier for something to happen. As you use Lolth's servant's blade for divine paladin stuff.
Which is mine.
For now.
I'm going to point the blade slightly in his direction. So, do we have your full force and a group of Quaggoths brave enough to venture down there? Do we have a deal?
What deal are you offering? It sounds like you are using Quaggoths as your front line, much like the Drow did.
No. This is nothing like that. If anything, you'll be behind us. I have someone that definitely wants to be on the front line.
Yes, that is me. I will not be making way for you. Whoever gets there quickest gets the most kills. Threign sort of nods and looks over.
You want us to fight for you. You want some of us to die for you. But we will have many Durga corpses to feast on later. And they will fear the Quaggoths once more. You may travel through our land. For now, I will send some warriors to follow, and when combat begins, they will strike from the shadows, tear through dwarf flesh.
We come out the other side, then this is yours. And I'll stow the shadow blade, and I don't know how Quaggoths do it, but I'll reach forward with a feathered hand.
The Quaggoth looks at your hand, almost confused, as the Thonot what did I call him? Thonot Gruktar?
Yeah.
Yes, Gruktar, yeah.
Gruktar.
As Thonot Gruktar looks down at your hand, almost in confusion, then reads the intention from your surface level thoughts. It instead reaches out with a claw, carving away a section of the skin across its palm, causing blood to well to the surface as it holds it out.
We mark in blood.
I got healing hands, I'll do the same. I'll use one of my talons and cut across my palm.
As it grabs your hand.
It's not hygienic.
What was that, Harry? Yeah, it's not hygienic at all.
I can cure diseases either as well, I'm fine.
Yeah.
As you grasp the hand of the Thonot, that psionic link begins to retreat again a little bit, As it pulls its hand away, its attention focused back at the others, the Thornots that had the cut across its cheek, the one that led you here. Sort of looks up, almost looking like a bit hopeful. As the Thornot looks down and nods once, the Quaggoth then moves over towards you, still sort of like shying away, almost looking a bit submissive towards the Thornot. And Niles?
While I kind of gesture up the Thornot, there. I try to do the psionic link. I guess is it still there? Or is it dropped?
Not there right now.
Damn, I was gonna ask it a question.
You can say it out loud.
I don't really want to say that.
It might cause offense.
No, well, it wasn't going to be offensive. I might ask the smaller one later.
As the Thornot begins moving back in towards the camp, the Quaggoth that originally spoke to you, like, looks up and then goes,
Great honor. Thornot blessed you this day. You are not eaten. You are not food.
He's very intelligent, like you said.
He
Very
ate
strong.
brains of Aboleth. Gives his mind power.
Oh.
I look to Lyra and like happily nod. not mind player, not dangerous.
Do you have a name or something that they call you here?
you watch as it cocks its head and then says a series of guttural barks that definitely are not in common.
Ah. Okay, that might be a bit hard. But I do have a question for you, actually. I noticed when we were coming into this camp here, there is a drow, perhaps, amongst your ranks? Are they a visitor or friend?
A prisoner, maybe.
Overseer.
I don't quite understand. What do you mean, overseer?
They watch, give us instructions sometimes, speak to Thornot.
Even to your Thornot? Okay.
Do they get in return, I guess? I mean, it seems unlike, you to be under another. I mean, you are the apex predators. It seems odd to me that, a lowly drow is your overseer.
I don't think Lyra means any offense there. It's more interesting, this
There
arrangement.
is agreement, ancient agreement with drow. A treaty.
Oh.
It almost spits as it says the word. There's an immense dissatisfaction there.
My understanding of geopolitical underdark politics is probably a bit lacking.
Does Ember's cloak have a symbol of the Lothsworn on it?
No, it's not marked with any symbols in particular. It's more like this sort of flowing dark spider silk cloak.
Okay, well, in the basics, could I just, I guess, with my, a talon of my foot, draw the symbol of Lothsworn into sort of like the dirt on the ground for a second? Is this something that drow wears?
Not this drow.
As it looks down at the markings.
Other drow.
Friends
drow?
of this one?
Or unfriendly drow?
It shrugs. Doesn't seem to know.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to care.
It's the other type of drow. Okay. Interesting. What do we know? Like, what do we know about the
Darmirian drow? The ones who
Darmirian drow, yeah.
ones who worship Darmir. Do you want to make a religion check or history check, Niles?
Both very strong stats.
Lyra, do you want to as well? You would have advantage, Lyra, given you are an Eladrin.
Sorry, what were we rolling again? I was taking note.
Religion or history?
I'll do religion for flavor. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a
Well,
seven.
So-
I'm just going to
7.
channel divinity, get a second level spell slot back.
14 for Lyra. Niles, you know that the elves, when they arrived on Nostea, had no gods. They worshipped different gods, became different elves. the Drow worship two different gods. Lolth, who was one of the betrayer gods, and Dunmere, who's one of the primary gods.
Yep.
Beyond that, not sure. Lyra. The Drow who follow Dimir are actually the original Dark Elves. Dimir is the god of the stars, the god of the night sky. He was the father of Lolth.
Oh.
And when Lolth turned against her father and betrayed the other gods, she led a vast army of Dark Elves, of Drow, against the Darmirian Drow. That's what I mean. The word Drow is even it's taken from the Elvish name for Darmir. It's taken from it. The Lolthsworn Drow very much follow the teachings of Lolth, a brutal matriarchal society based around the worship of spiders, driders, and all things with too many eyes and too many legs. The Darmirian Drow, while in lesser numbers as a result of the betrayal and the fighting, have a very uneasy alliance with the dwarves of Balmir, the mountain dwarves of Balmir, against the Duergar and against the Lolthsworn Drow. There is a long-standing enmity now between the Lolthsworn and Darmirian Drow. The Darmirian Drow, matriarchal as well, but not to the same brutally totalitarian extent as the Lolthsworn Drow. Men can still hold positions of power. They're not just like, it's not like everything else above and then men are just like the dirt underneath their feet, but like they are with the Lolthsworn. Men can hold positions of power as well. It's just very still matriarchal. The Darmirian Drow, much more willing to work with the surface. Lolthsworn, very much not. There is an old treaty between the Darmirian Drow and the High Elves of Nostea. Lolthsworn, very much not. Are there any specific questions you had in mind for the Darmirian Drow or Lolthsworn Drow?
Only assumptions.
Okay. Do you want to say it?
Well, I guess just sort of out loud, it's sort of, well, this, you mentioned an ancient treaty. No chance you remember much if it was before or after the Great War of the Dark Elves. How old are you?
I am 9.
Oh, very good.
And I've just realised I have no idea what in reference that is because it's no passage of the sun.
Time down here. 9 what?
9 seasons.
You track the seasons here in the Underdark? Is that... How many seasons?
What is a season in the Underdark?
Yeah.
It looks really confused as you say this and instead looks down at its body.
Oh...
Like molting fur?
Oh. Interesting.
I guess the next question is how often does it molt? Look, maybe we just follow. Were you taking us?
We wait. There are more to follow. I am to guide you out of Quaggoth village, out of Quaggoth territory.
Okay. Did your Thonauts advise you to how many warriors would be aiding this attack? The Duergar are many.
You watch as the Quaggoth kind of looks around and then sort of almost like angrily shakes itself a little bit. Doesn't seem to answer or want to answer that question.
Okay. That's fine.
I would say, but from the body language, given your kind of passive insight, your training, you're getting the sense that the Thonaut's going to do what the Thonaut's going to do. It's not going to tell this quite lower on the pecking order Quaggoth what's happening.
Just work here, man.
However many Quaggoths show up is going to be how many show up. This Quaggoth, he's not got any answers for you, unfortunately. He's not being told. He has been instructed very few things, and that is what he's going to do.
Well, look, an ally's an ally. Could I find something sort of flat-ish, like a rock, bring it over to the middle of us. Threign, would you like to see if you're stronger than the Quaggoth? Arm wrestle?
Oh, fuck yes.
Quaggoth, would you like to prove that you're the apex creature here against our biggest?
A test of strength.
The Quaggoth slowly sharpens its claws on the stones in front of it and then looks down before reaching out almost to do like a pre-strike.
Not to injure, just a test of strength.
Niles, why don't you show?
Oh, yes. Well, okay then. I sort of square up against Threign like I normally do.
I'm going to say contested athletics check.
Yeah, cool.
Second chance at redemption.
Can I do, what?
That's a natural 1 for Threign.
What do I normally roll for? Can I roll something else? I can roll dex, right?
Unfortunately, for an arm wrestle, how would you do that dexterously? This is very much contested athletics, unfortunately. It's a natural 1 for Threign.
Dexterity would be like the back and forth.
1 out of 5.
Right?
Let's go.
What'd you get? What was your total?
I rolled a 5. 5.
Threign's is still higher though. It's an 8. Even with a natural 1.
It's a 1. It's 1 is still a fail, right?
Unfortunately, I do natural 1s as the fails that they are. Like we do in Baldur's Gate 3. I do have natural 1s as an auto fail. As Threign puts up a hell of a fight at first, Niles, you do manage to somehow, maybe Threin's distracted, you don't know, but somehow you just get the angle right. And as you lean forwards and push, you hear one of the bones in Threin's elbow click and his arm seizes up for a moment and then slams down against the stone. There is a look of pure horror on Threin's face as he looks first at you and then at his arm and then at you again, stands up, grabs the stone and flings it over the side of the cabin wall. As it disappears into the darkness, Threign storms off.
Okay.
You're just better.
That was not what I wanted. I was really hoping we could start like an arm wrestle competition and I could use that to give inspiring leader to every Quaggoth.
Strongest of the Owlin. I've proven my power here today.
Niles, what did you do? And I'm going to go and whisper in his ear.
Threign is whatever the opposite of inspired is, that is Threign right now. Threign could not be less inspired. Threign is thoroughly discouraged.
10 minutes simply just shoring their resolve. So I was going to do that to every Quaggoth that was going to help us get them go against Threign and give all of them some juicy temporary hit points. So yeah, I quickly go beside you, Niles. What the fuck, man?
What do you mean?
I mean, it just means that the Quaggoths have to now arm wrestle Niles.
But we lost the rock
He's
as
now
well.
clearly the strongest.
I'll look for another rock, I guess.
I'll just make the greatest arm wrestling ring of all time.
Oh yeah, Mold Earth. Okay, I'm back on pain. So yeah, if able, with Lyra's help and apparently Niles as the champion, I'd like to try to, for this Quaggoth, grunt, chew grunt, as well as every other Quaggoth that comes, if I can, get them to participate and use this to give all of them a bolster of their resolve.
You're going to have to make a very, very high persuasion check to convince these Quaggoths to waste time with this benign show of strength when really combat is the real way to show strength.
I'm gonna sell this to them like the greasy potion salesman I am. Maybe 14.
The Quaggoth who has the cut on his cheek, the one who knows you, let's call him Cut Cheek for the moment. The one who brought you here, he will do it. The others, as they see him doing this, it almost is a discouragement for them. Niles, it's going to be a contested athletics check with the Quaggoth.
I'm fine with that.
It's hilarious because I've got
Cut Cheek will
That's a natural 20 from the Quaggoth.
Oh
Ooh.
It just picks you up, Niles, and throws you against the wall.
Throws him the same direction the rock just went.
Oh no!
As the Quaggoth puts its elbow on the stone, your hand is slammed into the stone so fast and with so much force, you flip over. You're going to take a d4 damage as well.
Oh, that's fine.
What did Niles get?
I haven't even rolled.
Oh, yeah, roll it. Yeah, roll it. Roll it. Roll
Yeah.
it. Let's see if you get if you get a natural 20, this is a different story.
It's a 15.
15. I stand by what I said then. You're going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as your arm is just slammed down into the stone. You are flipped over as you crack into it. As the Quaggoth like dusts itself off, looks down and goes,
Bird broken. Eats bird now.
No. Bird is not broken. Bird is merely displaced. I give him a look. My bird instincts are kicking in.
You watch as from the shadows over near the edge of the spiked stone palisade wall, 6 Quaggoths prowl out from inside the village. One of them with the painted chest, the others all very similar to the Quaggoth with the cut cheek. Different sizes. Some of them look a little bit larger than the others, and you can see that these ones have much longer hair and fur around the upper torso and much larger claws. And as they approach, you watch as one of them, one with the painted chest, who has this sort of longer claws, is a bit larger, grins this hideous, sharp-toothed grin as it looks over.
Well, we go now. You follow.
And you get
Okay.
this sudden impression that the females are larger than the males, as you realize the Quaggoths, the sexual dimorphism works in favor of the females.
There you go.
And with that, you begin making your way
Yes.
back towards the stone path. This time leading through the edge of the Quaggoth village, I think we'll call it. Not quite a village, the Quaggoth outpost, let's say. And as you make your way back onto the narrow stone paths, the Quaggoths lead you into the darkness. The one with the cut cheek taking the front, the others padding behind you, their eyes almost unblinking as they watch you in the dark. Harry, the predator, the prey sense within you is going overdrive right now as you watch 4 very large lupine-like forms, 6 very large lupine-like forms track you in the darkness as they follow you below.
How does Harry feel about all of this?
Harry just wants to step into the shadows and hide.
Fair. Good point.
Harry, there's a good thing to all of this. I'm going to try to come over and calm him down. We don't need to worry about getting lost as well. We get allies and guides. Just everything's fine.
Yeah, it's true, but any chance to slip out, I think I might take it.
You've got the power of a god on your side. Either way, just don't distance yourself too much from us.
What happened last time?
Yeah.
I'm whispering this.
Okay. Fly.
Perfect.
Oh,
yeah, you go.
No, it's all good.
As you follow the Quaggoth with a cut cheek down into the darkness, chasm beckons below. And before too long, you begin to catch glimpses of light down in the deeps underneath. The warm glow of fire or magma. Heat begins to rise around you, the steam from the water as it's vaporized upon contact with the lava below, creating this almost perpetual fog cloud as you pass through the condensation layer. And as you get below it, you see a vast cavern open up beneath, rivers of lava running below you, forming this lake of fire. And in the distance, a city. Large stone spires rising from the ground and descending from the ceiling, cracked and broken, half buried in dried magma and lava. The sound of pickaxes echoing through the underground cavern. That is where we're going to leave for tonight.
Oh.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. We will be back with more Return of the Giants next Wednesday. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are going to go and read one of our lovely, lovely friends. I'm thinking tonight let's go and raid. None of our usual folks are up, so let's go and raid the Plot Hook, who are doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Let's go and raid them.
Nice module.
If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you so much. You too can help with these skill checks. Lyra had a few natural ones. Threign had a natural one. If you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment or hit the like button, you'll be able to refill that bank of natural 20s and hopefully prevent the natural ones from coming through when the players need them the least. From all of us here tonight, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again very, very soon. But until next time, everybody, goodbye. Farewell.
Bye.
See ya. Oh, the outro's not working. I'll have to do it manually. Let's try that again. Bye.
Thank you.